we have been with ourselves our whole life, right? Like, only us, we know what's going on in here. Everything we've experienced, we have been the only one that's been there the whole time. And so that means that we've been there through our development. We've been there through our childhood, our teenage years, our young adult years, and so on. So all those memories and experiences are embedded in our body. They're all there. We can retrieve them. Sometimes we have memories just come out of nowhere and we think, oh my gosh, I totally forgot about that. But I was there, I experienced it, and I have a memory of it. So we've been there for our childhood. So let's talk about childhood. We've been there through our childhood. And a lot of stuff, we block out because it's been too painful to see. And some of that stuff surfaces when we do healing work later in life. So going back to our childhood can, it can be traumatic. It can, also be joyful. There's a lot of different experiences that we have in that early ages of first knowing what existence is and having our foundation set up for us. Most people have parents that they've lived with, sometimes grandparents or foster parents or whoever, but we have role models that, teach us how to live our life, and we follow their guidelines, and we use that as a safety net. That's our basis, our premises, where we get all our information. And then as we get older, we have our own experiences, and we take some and leave some as we evaluate what we've been taught, and we stem that as our foundation, and we grow from there. But our childhood is our foundation, right? It's our upbringing. So the childhood that we all have is a sensitive time. And any child, it's a very sensitive time. They're very susceptible to things. They pick up things rather quickly and absorb information quicker than humans. Quicker than adults. So when we think back at our childhood, there's a lot of different emotions and feelings that stem from there. So doing inner child work is very powerful because we keep these experiences in our body, and if we don't process them and develop them appropriately, our body forms from that foundation. And so if we go back from that childhood and we heal some of those wounds, it's just like a spiraling effect. Everything else has to change. Everything else. That wound carries a lot of information and vibration for the rest of our body. And if we change the wound, our body doesn't have to carry that wound anymore. And we are just a mess of different wounds. We really are. We have lots of different information in our body of how we've developed. So our pain in our body, and even the way we hold our body, is all based on our experiences. So by going back to our inner child and hanging out with their inner child, we can heal some amazing wounds. So what I've been doing is sitting in meditations and meeting the inner Tara, hanging out with Tara, hanging out with the little girl, and having all these flashbacks of memories of the little girl who wanted to play, the little girl, her positive experiences, the little girl, her negative experiences. And it's almost like I acted like a big sister to hang out with her, or if you will, a parent. So when we go back and we hang out with our inner child, we are our child's parent. Because every single person in this world is flawed, even our parents, whoever raised us, they did the best they could, but there are also flaws, and a lot of those flaws can cause trauma. And so a lot of times, when we grow up, we're like, only if you taught us better, only if you did this differently, or only if you did that better. And that's blaming other people for our life. And yes, I'm not excusing that people do harm people at times, but what I'm getting at is, regardless of what the wound is, we can go back and be the parent and help the inner child heal that wound. So say a child wasn't able to go to a birthday party, and that little child is still upset about that, really wanted to go to that birthday party, and the parents said no for whatever reason, and we're still carrying that trauma. That little girl had no, there's a reason she didn't get to go, and whatever the reasons are, a little girl doesn't care. She's still emotional about it. So in a meditation, I can go back and we go back to that child and take that child to the birthday party and have experience and imagine what that birthday party was like and heal that wound for that child to receive that joy. So we want to be our own parent. We want to go back and heal the child, be with the child, play with the child, cry with the child, hug with the child, experience joy with the child so that child is able to fully expand into its fullest expression. And when we live in a more joy state when we're younger and we're more fulfilled, we grow to become more fulfilled. And so we unravel a lot of these holding patterns, and we're able to expand our container with more joy and fulfillment because we don't have anything barricading that anymore. We're cutting off the barricades. We're unblocking the blocks. So inner child work is very profound. I find it to be very nourishing myself. There's usually lots of tears, just emotional release of being able to go back and hang out with little Tara. So sit with yourself and hang out with your inner child. Play with your child. Allow the child to play with the kite or play in the ocean or play a game. Like, be with your child in a meditation period, even if it's just like 5-10 minutes before you go to bed or wake up in the morning. Just hang out with your little child and allow that child to have some nourishment, attention, love, and that peace is in you. It's you. You're loving yourself with joy. You're loving yourself at a deeper level of a more a joyful, relaxed, playful way. So don't underestimate the power of inner child work. It's very profound, and it really can help your future.